Leavenworth I'm just coming through. I've been doing flowers, let me explain, but let me show you this is Leavenworth. Obviously, as a rule, this is absolutely heaving, this place. Beautiful little Bavarian town, Bavarian German town. Loads of bars, big fiestas here, festivals and shit, with big steins of beer and big boobied bartenders, which is always a fun thing. We've been to one, me and Steph went a couple of years ago, and her sister and that, and it was really cool. Lots going on. Look at these bars and that. They are super cool, they really are. So it's definitely worth going. If you're doing coast to coast, you can come across, you can either go Snoqualmie, the 90, which I usually go over the mountain, or you could turn right and head north a little bit and come over the 2, which brings you through here, which is Stevens Pass, which I don't use this one much. It gets blocked quite a lot, and it's a bit steeper than going over Snoqualmie. This is part of the Cascades, these mountain range, which come down from Canada all the way down. I think they go far down as into California. So if you were to go coast to coast, you would have to come across these at some point, unless you went all the way down LA and come right at the bottom of California into in that way. Anyway, that's enough of that. Let me explain. So I'm doing the flowers at the moment. I've been for a couple of days now. I didn't really explain it, I don't think, properly listening back to my video, that when I got the, now I've moved, I'm down in Cedar Woolley, which is an hour away from where I used to live, near our yard, up by the Canadian border. So it's really handy, especially doing these, because you'll do one a day. So I leave my house, go up an hour, pick my trailer, come back home, and then set off the next morning, or set off, have my tea, and then set off, which is grand, because I'm running on the what is it, agricultural exempt, which, like I said before, the agricultural exempt is basically I'm Elog tachograph out the window, because it's a 150-mile radius of our yard. I don't have to take any notice of it, basically. Just any hours, keep going, keep it lit, minimum hours off, whatever you want on a night, sleep when you're tired. Absolute happy days. So, this is so pretty through here. Some would say, oh, that ain't right. So this is how I work it, right? If I'm tired, I go to sleep. It's not that far. It was 250 miles, road miles. It was just on the cuff. It was 150 as the crow flies. So you've got 150 as the crow flies from base with running on agricultural. So as long as you keep in that, you're okay. Happy days, you know, everybody's happy. And so you see, it's not mega miles to get out and get you. I've only had 2 drops on. The other day it was, the first one I did was as the crow flies. It was only something like, what was it? It's something like 70 mile, if that. But to get to it, it's 250 miles, because it's over on one of the islands, so I have to go right down to Seattle and come all the way back up again. So you can still get away without running the Elog. Anyway, so yesterday, still had an empty trailer, waited till 4 o'clock, went home, finished my deliveries, went home, stayed at home till 4 o'clock, and then just after 4, had some dinner, and then set off up to the yard. Now up to the yard, my next trailer was there, picked my trailer up, came down the way. Because it was later on, I didn't bother going home last night. I went straight through. So I did till 9:30, something like that. So it only gave me an hour this morning to my first delivery. Went to bed at 9:30, 10 o'clock, had a bit of bite to eat, bed, get up at 4:30 this morning. I do hear people saying, oh, you're not having your full time off, you're not having, fucking who decides how much time I need off? As long as you don't abuse it. These tacos and Elogs and shit like that, where your hours and stuff was probably designed and made law by some prick who's never actually driven a truck in his life. Never ever fucking got out there and done shit. I stop in rest areas. I don't stop in service areas and things like that, so there's fuck all to do in a rest area. A little walkabout. Do I really want to be sat there for 10 hours? I want to go to sleep, get up and fucking crack on. I'm at work at the end of the day. Unless I'm somewhere pretty like this, I want to go for a walk round. which is possible now because I'm running exempt Elog without having to chase my 14 hours or 15 as in the UK. I hope you're all keeping up on this. But this is my opinion on. I think this running Elog exempt is brilliant. Taco exempt is really, you know. The other day coming back home, I stopped and had an hour's kip because I was a bit tired. When you're chasing your taco all the time, your Elog and stuff, you can't do that because you've got that 14 fucking hour spread over, or 14 in the UK, hanging over your head all the time. But without it, you ain't got none of that, which is good. It's grand. But the only thing is, I do honestly, you know, I understand why they're brought out because of people do abuse hours. Jesus Christ, I was one of the world's worst when I lived in Spain. We would run so bent, it was unbelievable. But as you get older, it's things change a little bit. And maybe you get a little bit more sensible. I doubt it very much, but well, not with me anyway. So that's the outcome at the moment. I'll be doing another load tonight. Another load I'll go and pick up at 4 o'clock. It's 11 o'clock now. I'm 3 hours from, well, about 2.5 hours rather from home. And then I'll sit home, I'll stay at home, have some dinner. I don't know where I'm going yet. He'll tell me probably in a little bit what I've got for tomorrow or tonight. Depending on how far it is. If it's only down to Seattle, I'll go first thing in the morning. I'll probably set off at 3 or 4 in the morning. That's pretty, isn't it? 3, 4 in the morning. And then do that one. If it's further afield, like over to this side or something, I'll set off tonight. Pretty good, really. It was working out all right for me. It is. At first, I thought, no, I don't like the flowers, but no, it's good when you work it out properly. Like anything. And I'm so glad that the flowers are still going because work has gone so fucking quiet. It really has. It's gone really dead. Fudge there. Sad to see all these places shut. It's going to be the summer of remember we couldn't go out. All our national parks and everything are shut down, so you can't go in those. So this is Stevens Pass. Like I say, I don't get to go over this one that much because as a rule coming back in I'm heavy, and over winter it gets blocked up pretty easy. I do want to come over here if things get sorted out towards summer, back end of summer and that, because there's a pack of wolves, so there's 2 packs of wolves apparently that run in between Stevens Pass and Snoqualmie somewhere, roaming about. I'd like to see them. I ain't seen a pack of wolves yet. My stepdaughter knows more about them. She's all into the wolf thing, knows a lot about them and that, so hopefully things will be out and we can go camping and explore the best state in America, Washington State, the prettiest. And it's a grand day. As you can see, this wingle wangle's all the way up, and this is all single right the way across on this one, whereas obviously if you stay on the 90 it's all motorway, freeway, dual carriageway, whatever. There's a ski resort at the top of here. Yeah, towards the weekend, I think he's got me one over to Morris, Illinois, Costco. It's Costco that we do all the flowers to, that's our main thing. Which as well, let me tell you, Costco are spot on. There's super friendly people in all the ones I go to. There's an odd one that's a bit grumpy, a bit Hitlery, but the other ones, the nice ones, all the way hit them out. But they always have about 3 bays. I don't think there's many with 3 and upwards. The last one I've just done there had 4 bays. Some of them did have 4 or 5, can't remember, 4. So I'm never, very, very rarely waiting to get unloaded. And the cages are flowers, so you just pull up, jump in, shoot in there, bosh, straight onto the bay. 9 times out of 10 they'll give you a hand to pull the cages off once you get them out and that. Just pull them off, so it's keeping me fit, getting me walking as well and out and about, which I don't mind at all. half a load for each out there. Then you put the empty cages back on, pull the empty cages back on, and away you go. It works. It's a pretty good thing. So I'm still getting my miles in. This one round trip's 5,500. 5,500, now I'm getting paid to drive down here, eh? You would pay to come and drive around here, wouldn't you? What we got on this? This is 50 mile an hour, this speed limit on here. Still got a bit of snow on bits of it. There'll probably still be snow on the top. So there you go. There is the update. I'm going to stop at the top. Let me just keep it running a little bit longer because I think it gets quite pretty up here. I've never had to chain up on this one. I was lucky once I come up to it. I come this way. Was it last year or a year before? I can't remember now. Snoqualmie was shut down because of snow, and it had been hideous snow. They'd had some really, really bad snow. And it had been like that for it'd been like that shut down for 3 days at Snoqualmie. So I come up over this way. I wasn't too heavy. I was alright. I was coming away back from Florida, so I had like plants on and that, so I wasn't too bad. But I come up to, I forget what part it was. It must have been further on. I come up and they were all chaining up at the bottom and stuff, and it's like, oh god, here we go. Which it wasn't a bad day. It was like this, sunny, but bottom of the hill there was a bit of snow and what have you, and there were the chaining up, the chain signs were out. So I pulled up to chain up. As I jumped out to grab my chains, this guy in front of me is taking his chains off, and I'm like, what? And he started to walk towards me. He said it's just come on the radio now. The guy in front of me's just told me that the chain load, they've just taken it off. So I'm just taking mine off. He said he'd only got 2 of them on, and they've lifted the chain load. So it was like, happy days, pull out and away you go. Which was nice. Nobody likes to put chains on. I think I did this pass. If you go way back into my YouTube, it's somewhere down there. Somewhere at the beginning of the scary chain days. I still don't enjoy it. Chaining up, that is, not the driving bit. The driving bit I can put up with. Windscreen's blathered in flies. Now we've got to fly season now. If I clean that, it'll probably get even worse and all smeared. Like being in the Alps.